My 50th ordination anniversary was actually yesterday, the Byzantine feast celebrating Eastern and Western worship authors all at once. SOP, standard operating procedure on a priest's 50th anniversary, is to hold a dinner honoring her or him. COVID-19 prevents such a gathering this time. Perhaps we can try it when we celebrate Donald Shell's 50th next year. My delay is your loss, because I would have ended this anniversary dinner the same way that Steve and I ended our wedding at St. Gregory's, with dancing led by gorgeous Brazilian samba dancers wearing feathers only, and not too many feathers either. After all, that's how angels dance in heaven. Isaiah, the prophet, describes it in his 6th chapter, revealing exactly where the angels wear their feathers. Those samba dancers at our wedding got the prophecy just about right. People sometimes ask me, when did I decide to be ordained? It was actually the night before my deacon's ordering, and not until then. And did I feel called by God? Well, here's what actually happened. My Yale and Cambridge friends included only a dozen Christians. Most other friends were post-Christian and would tell me the church was an irrelevant organization or worse. Martin Luther King Jr. made only a temporary exception to Christianity's collapse in their esteem. Surely I was too smart to spend my time on such an outdated outfit. But I liked the music and ritual and other beauties, so I defended my attraction. Then at Theological College in Mirfield, Yorkshire, singing evensong one night, I recognized that I had never really believed Christianity, only defended it, like a mercenary or a child soldier in the Congo told, take this gun and shoot at anything that moves. My tutor monk, Benedict Green, a historical critic, dismantled the bulwark beliefs I thought I needed to guard. Benedict left my humane values upright, and a sense of duty and loyalty like his own. But loyalty to what? My diocese those days, not California, ran their ordination program like a fraternity hazing, full of stuffy pretense. Ordination means public vesting for life, right? Why would anyone nowadays put on such foolish clothes? Then that night before the ordinations, it occurred to me, if honor means anything, it must be an honor to minister, to serve your fellow humans in matters of life and death. And Christ's gospel good news is a matter of life and death, whether people welcome it or not. So serving people in the church is honorable, no matter how well or badly Christian institutions do it. After all, Tavistock group psychology research, which was so very important in founding St. Gregory's, Tavistock defines an institution simply as a social arrangement built to last. All institutions are flawed because we humans are. Providentially, at General Seminary, I met Saints Gregory of Nyssa and Donald Shell, two gospel ministers who've straightened my meandering path ever since. Several of my student buddies have had eminent careers. One roommate headed up Human Rights Watch and the MacArthur Foundation. Another became first president of George Soros's Central European University. Another wrote music that everybody loved on Broadway. Their living friendship lends me their honor, as the memory of my late teachers does. In exchange, I can only offer what I share with you, my fellow good news laborers. When inquirers ask, will you be a bishop? How big is your church? Or is your book well received, well reviewed? They mean kind wishes for me, but offices and distinctions cannot create a Christian minister's honor. That honor belongs wholly to the work itself, to matters of life and death. And it grows as fellow laborers join our ranks, however much they agree with us. The late Robin Williams gave his top reason out of 10 for being an Episcopalian. Whatever you believe, you can find at least one other Episcopalian who agrees with you. St. Gregory's gorgeous church building rose through the gifts of broadly diverse believers. Our Bishop Bill Swing said, "My God, it's beautiful." I never thought during my episcopate I'd see a beautiful church built. St. Gregory's food pantry, the singing, the dancing, the classes and icon workshops, the children, the newcomers, the members' community life and counseling are all beautiful as we differing lay and ordained folk minister together. And how satisfying for a founder to watch our leadership getting better and better. It's the honor of a lifetime. One's 50th anniversary tempts one to reflect and evaluate, but I'll spare you that. Decades back, I did stumble through tall thickets of introspection, weeding out my mixed motives and lost chances and blunders. Suddenly, a clear angel image visited my daydream, fully clothed this time, pushing an old-fashioned lawnmower with no motor, whose blades cut only as you press forward. The angel said to me, "If you can tear yourself away from all that, we have work to do." So I obeyed and have arrived here today. Upon retirement later, I dreamed of spreading my career before Christ's judgment seat and admitting frankly, here are the things I did and didn't do that I should have done and not done, and there's nothing more to say. And an angel voice answered, "That's right." Not, "That's all right," but "That's right. If we had wanted it done any differently, we would have sent someone else." That voice encourages me still, because being right about everything, as I always am, has hardly helped. In 50 years, practically everyone who joined me has proven me wrong about something important. Maybe you didn't notice it at the time, and perhaps that's one reason you're still here. Yet matters of life and death turned up steadily anyhow, refreshing my honor in working here. Moreover, Jesus' good news about God at work echoes beyond the church. Let me share a third angelic vision I saw while wide awake, no kidding, around my anniversary a decade back. A table full of 8 Buddhists and a Christian Scientist took me out to a fine Chinese restaurant. None of my hosts were Orthodox Christians, but of course their fellowship, and especially the cuisine, were divine. They asked me how I decided to become a priest, and I retold them the same story I just told you today. And as we talked together, an inner voice told me, "Do not look up." So I chatted and smiled among the friends around the table while my mind's eye saw the restaurant ceiling open overhead and huge dark brown wings shifting slowly, like a feathered creature too great to grasp, a moving power that prophets can barely describe. In my memory, I can still see those dark feathers moving. Do not look up. Angels are not something you and I need to believe in. Speaking up is their work, not ours. My Cambridge friend Rupert, an atheist scientist, parried aside every religious argument that Clare College's chaplain and I could venture. And then surprisingly, he married a feminist mystic and switched sides. Now you can read one-time Harvard biochemist Rupert Sheldrake's books on angels, on animal communication, on foreknowledge, telepathy, and other parascience puzzles. My own favorite angels are Native American. In our Southwest, we hear of the Yay, the benign holy people who instructed the Navajo Diné how their creator wants humans to work and live. Like these 2 Yays standing behind me. Can you see the century-old rug? They taught the Navajo to hunt, to herd sheep, plant crops, weave, and make jewelry. All those symbols surrounding them here, and live in peace together. Every winter still, the holy people stride in over the snow, over the mountain snows, bringing sound advice. This year, for some reason, my house is filled up with artworks about Yays. They bless everyone who enters. You and I are supposed to talk with them daily. So I ask these holy people, now that I'm 78 years old and St. Gregory's Church no longer needs me to be right about everything, what work shall I do? Perhaps this year they will answer. Our nation could well use a Ye visit. So I brought Navajo painter Alan Bahi's icon to help you recognize Ye's on the San Francisco streets. You'll see the green face mask and the neck ruff of balsam branches that the many holy people wear, and with two eagle feathers of course, on the left ear and the right hand. And here around my neck, where along with the Native American crosses I always bring to St. Gregory's, here is a silver Ye. There he comes. You can see the mask face and the balsam ruff and the feathers gleaming. This Ye's Navajo name is Hasealti, Hasisealti, talking God. You and I know how profoundly matters of death and life and death perplex our United States this winter. May talking God come striding over the snows that cover our nation's path and speak up.